when can we expect additional content to come out for The Last of Us Part 2? So let's talk about that, guys. I think in order for us to kind of predict what might happen with The Last of Us Part 2, we have to look at the past and what happened with The Last of Us Part 1. We also need to realize that the next thing coming out, I think we can all assume and predict at this point, is that the next thing coming out of The Last of Us Part 2 is Factions, which is, of course, the multiplayer modes that should be coming out for The Last of Us Part 2. And so with that, guys, I think that what we need to look at here is Factions is probably the next thing coming out. Now, what other additional content should be coming out? I think we got to look at the past in order to kind of predict the future. So, with additional content for The Last of Us Part 1, downloadable content for the game was released following its launch. The game Season Pass includes access to all DLC as well as some additional abilities. And the documentary Grounded, Making The Last of Us, the documentary was released online in February of 2014. So just for frame of reference here, guys, The Last of Us Part 1 came out June 14th of 2013, okay? And so think of it that way. So 2013, and then the actual documentary and such was released February 2014. 2 DLC packs were included with some of the game's special editions and were available upon release. The Sights and Sounds pack included the soundtrack, a dynamic theme for the PlayStation 3 home screen, and 2 avatars. The Survival pack featured bonus skins for the player following the completion of the campaign and in-game money, as well as bonus experience points and early access to customizable items for the game's multiplayer. Abandoned Territories map pack released on October 15th, 2013, added 4 new multiplayer maps based on locations in the game's story. The Nightmare Bundle, released on November 5th of 2013, added a collection of 10 head items, 9 of which are available to purchase separately. The Last of Us Left Behind adds a single-player campaign, which serves as a prequel to the main storyline featuring Ellie and her friend Riley. It was released on February 14, 2014 as DLC and on May 12, 2015 as a standalone expansion pack. So, let's talk about that. So, The Last of Us Left Behind, which is probably like one of the, the focal points when we talk about the DLC that came out of The Last of Us Part 1. So it came out, guys, February 14th of 2014. So like I said, this game released in 2013, so June of 2013, and this came out February 14th. So this is what I'll say. With The Last of Us Part 2, we're most likely not going to see a standalone expansion pack or a single-player campaign or add-on to the single-player campaign, most likely until next year, that being 2021. However, I wonder if this is actually even something that will happen, in my opinion. I just think that there is going to be some endgame content when it comes to The Last of Us Part 2. I don't know if they're going to do standalone expansion packs and things of that nature. I'm actually thinking that they might do The Last of Us Online, which is kind of similar to GTA Online or Red Dead Online, where it's like a living, breathing place that we can go to for everything The Last of Us, playing with our friends, playing against other people, doing objectives, finding things. I think it could be something so smart for Naughty Dog to create something like that. The Last of Us Online could be something super special, guys. That obviously, factions and such would be something separate, but I'm talking like a free-to-play place that you would be able to go to experience like everything that's happening within the world of The Last of Us. It could be something really special. But as far as a single-player campaign that kind of is a standalone expansion pack, I don't know if we're going to get that this time. But if we did, I would say that's going to come next year at some point or another, probably Q1 of 2021. A third bundle was released on May 6, 2014, featuring 5 separate DLC. Grounded added a new difficulty to the main game, and Left Behind Reclaimed Territories map pack added new multiplayer maps. Professional Survival Skills Bundle and Situational Survival Skills Bundle added 8 new multiplayer skills, and Survivalist Weapon Bundle added 4 new weapons. The Grit and Gear Bundle, which added new headgear items, masks, and gestures, was released on August 5th, 2014. A Game of the Year edition containing all downloadable content was released in Europe on November 11th, 2014. So I would say, guys, most of the content, if we're talking DLC and such, we're probably going to get it throughout the course of 2021. Probably the end of 2021 is when we would probably say it's going to kind of slow down, because in my opinion, Naughty Dog is going to be starting to gear up on The Last of Us Part 3. But before we get there, when we talk about like The Last of Us and kind of what happened here, we also got to talk about The Last of Us Remastered, because on April 9, 2014, Sony announced The Last of Us Remastered, an enhanced version of the game for the PlayStation 4. It was released on July 29, 2014 in North America. Now, this was obviously, guys, for the PlayStation 4. Now, the question is, I don't believe we're going to get a Last of Us 2 remastered with the PS5, but you got to remember that there's probably going to be some, specific, bundles and such that you'll be able to get on the PS5 for The Last of Us Part 2. So you got to keep that in mind as well, that there's potential here that they'll bundle certain things into The Last of Us Part 2 for the PS5 version of the game. So that's something that we'll also have to kind of keep an account here. But all in all, I would say, guys, we're certainly going to get some announcements and things of that nature later this year in 2020. I would assume that we're going to get factions this year. I'm hoping we get factions this year. I'm hoping that The Last of Us Online, whatever that really kind of entails, I'm hoping we get that this year, or at least the beginning of next year, and that's where we really start seeing a lot of the additional content coming out for The Last of Us Part 2. I would say that they're going to have a year, guys, that they are going to do like a season pass, potentially a season pass. I'm hoping it's more of a maybe a season pass, but something that is, free to play, where they have like a season pass or something that unlocks additional content, like customizable options and items that are earnable that you can earn within The Last of Us Online. I think that could be something really special. I would say, though, guys, that they will probably actually slow down on making content just based on The Last of Us, 1. I would say that they'll slow down on the content probably by the end of 2021, maybe the beginning of 2022, and then they'll start gearing up for their next project, whether they're already starting it, whether that's another Uncharted game, whether that's The Last of Us Part 3, or that's, a totally new IP over at Naughty Dog. My prediction, though, is that they're going to start working on The Last of Us Part 3. I would say, guys, it's been greenlit already. Maybe The Last of Us Part 3 hasn't necessarily been 100% greenlit yet, but it's definitely in the very beginning stages of, I'm sure, the talks of where they want to kind of go with this franchise moving forward. It was way too big of a smash hit, guys, when we're talking about just how many copies they've sold of this game for them not to make another game. So I feel that they are definitely going to service The Last of Us Part 2 for a period of time, but I would say probably at the end of 2021, that's when they're going to be going into full gear on the next project. But that's just my thoughts, guys, and I would love to hear yours in the comment section down below. Do you guys think we'll get some free DLC? Do you think it'll be The Last of Us Online? Do you think that it will just be some standalone DLC content that you'll be able to, purchase outside of the game, or something that'll be like standalone expansion packs? How do you guys think this is all going to play out? Let me know in the comment section down below, and let's have a real conversation about it.